Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining, and as you can tell by the title, these are some of my favourite books of 2021, and these are in order of when I read them throughout the year. Like, I don't know what month except like the first one, which was in January obviously, but yeah, and they aren't in order of favourite to least favourite or anything like that. And the first book that I have is The Testament by Margaret Atwood. It was the first book I finished in January, and it was for the majority of the year probably my favourite book of the year. Nothing has really necessarily topped it for the year, but things have been on par. I think I give this 5 stars, and it follows 3 different women throughout like the whole plot. 2 of them are in I always want to call it Gilead, but I don't think that's how it's pronounced. And one of them isn't from that. And their stories intertwine, and it's just one big kind of adventure. Well, I say adventure. It's the wrong word for a book like this, isn't it? But it's very interesting, and I was very surprised by it. My expectations were low for the simple fact that I read the first one, and that was really good. And I didn't think this one would live up to that, and for me it luckily did. So I'm happy about that. And this next one, all of them either had 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads. So for the next one, it was The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor. And with this one, ironically, I can't actually remember who the killer is. And it's one of my favourite books of the year. And I just remember loving this, to be honest. And one of the plot twists I do remember. Like, the person that had left was the person I thought it was. That left and come back was the person that I thought it was. And there's apparitions and things in this of burning girls, and there's a family involved that are downright awful, that are covering things up. So yeah, even though it's one of my favourite books of the year, I'm not explaining it very well. But yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. The next one I have was The End of Her by Shari LaPena. Again, it was either 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads that I gave this. And in this one, it follows, I want to say 3 people. I think it was 3. Yes, and it's figuring out whether someone has murdered another person, and you kind of start to believe that one of the characters didn't do it, and kind of figuring out who did, and who that kind of intertwines basically, and I really enjoyed it. It took a turn that I didn't expect it to be honest. It did take a hell of a turn. So yeah, I was very surprised, and I enjoyed it a lot. And there was one book that I did forget to bring downstairs, and that was The Good Bear. That followed a young girl whose relationship with her father isn't fabulous, so she goes to his house where he lives with his new wife, and she stays for Christmas over there, I think. And it's trying and improve the relationship and stuff. And she finds a bear, and she tries to save this bear throughout the book. And it was just generally a really nice book, to be honest. Some of my favourite books of the year have been kids' books, to be honest. Some of them are just have just generally been really nice, and I've got a little lucky with some of the kids' books. And the next one I don't have an official copy of. I do have a proof copy of The Hideaway by Sam Smye, which was absolutely incredible. The illustration in this was absolutely fabulous, as always. The plot was absolutely gorgeous. I say gorgeous. It was a very emotional plot where a little boy runs away from home for reasons that you find out in the book, and an old man befriends him, basically, and they have some conversations, and it kind of helps the boy deal with the things that are going on in his life. So I do recommend this, and I have read a previous book, and I do plan to give this to my sister as well, because my sister's already read the other one and she enjoyed it. She thought it was absolutely brilliant. So yes, I remember, this is fantastic. I recommend, and it is already out. So yeah, and I have a copy of When the Sky Falls by Phil Earle. Again, 5 stars on Goodreads, and this was one of the best things I've ever read. And it's the closest a book has ever got me to cry. Yeah, and it's partially based on a true story, and during World War II, and the plot kind of just goes around that, to be honest. And the true part is that a man had to guard a lion in a zoo in case the zoo got bombed and the lion got out, and he had to sit outside of the enclosure with a gun ready to shoot this lion. Obviously it's changed to a gorilla in this one, so I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter what the animal is as long as it's like relatable and a dangerous animal too. But yeah, this was a very enjoyable book where a young boy is sent to London during World War II. His dad is away at war, and this boy is acting himself something rotten, and people don't really know what to do with him. So you're sent to this woman who I think owes a favour in some way or another, and is looking after him. It follows his kind of emotional like turmoil and kind of trying to deal with things, I guess. And it is very emotional at one point where something happens and you feel so bad for this kid. Yeah. So, and it's even blurbed by Michael Morpurgo, so that says quite a lot, because he's like a legend in the kids' like books and stuff. So yes, I highly recommend this for children between the ages of like 8 and 12 maybe, because that's about how old the boy is, about 12, maybe 13, about that age. So yeah, that's all the video is really today. I don't really have anything else for this video right now, but I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Like, comment, subscribe if you will, and thank you for watching.